Good afternoon, everyone. Tractorman 44 here. I do a few things around town. Being retired, I do a few things around for people that I know. And my wife and I have this little lady friend. Her name is Josie. It's just as sweet a little gal as you ever wanted to meet. She lives by herself in her mobile home, and she needs a little help every now and then. With a lawnmower repair or furnace repair or something like that. And this little problem with her Coleman electric furnace, I think is a Coleman. She's never had a way to filter the air properly. The guys that installed it just literally threw some aluminum filters in alongside the a-coil. There's no Plenum box around the a-coil or anything, so it's just sucking all the dust and dirt, just doing a terrible job. So what I done, I stopped by this morning to weld up something on her lawnmower and decided to go ahead and take a look at her furnace door. That's been bugging me for a while. And so I come up with a situation where all the return air for that furnace actually draws through this louvered door and goes right into the compartment where the a-coil is and is drawn down through in a counterflow fashion, across the a-coil and through the electric heating coils and on into the ductwork. And there's, like I said, no provision. So what I'm going to do is I'm coming up with a way to mount adequately and properly a filter on the inside of this door to where we get pretty much full coverage and full air filtration. And that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. So I come up and figured that what I really need is a funny looking clip, so to speak, that'll actually screw in from the front of the door, hold the filter right there by the louvers, yet tight enough to where it's going to filter all the air. And so I've taken the liberty to go ahead and sketch one out. And so I've got already laid out, and I'm going to go on over there to the break and start folding it. I'll show you that. But notice in line with every one of my marks, I don't know that you can see them or not, but we have these little tiny divots in the metal. Now what I do, I'm retired so I can do this. I've got all the time in the world, literally. I got these funny looking snips. They're like a 30-degree V-notch. I call them turtle snappers because they kind of look like a snap turtle beak. But I like to mark those because sometimes you fold from the front of a piece of metal, sometimes you fold from the back of the piece of metal. If you have a scribe mark on the front, whenever you turn it over, you don't have that scribe mark anymore. And so what I do is whenever I lay these things out, anything's going to have some weird bends, I mark them with my turtle snappers. That way I can see them, whichever way, because to fold something as crazy as what this is going to be, there's a sequence that you have to follow. And occasionally I've been known to not follow the sequence and have to do it all over again. So anyway, we're going to go to that break, and we're going to fold this thing up, see if we can make it work. This is ultimately what we want to end up with. And if you take a look at here, you can see there's going to be some weird bending. It's going to be a little difficult. First off, we've got a 1/2 inch 90, a second 1/2 inch 90. We go flat in 1 3/4 inch with a 1/80, 1 inch back in, drop down 1 inch, and then back out an inch. That 1 by 1 compartment is going to be the slot that the filter slides into. This offset right here is going to allow us to rivet this from the front of to the front of the door, through the front of the door, but give us that offset to where the louvers won't come in contact with the face of the filter. So seeing what the finished product is going to be kind of gave you an idea of why it sometimes is easy to make a mistake. Now what I do is I save these old refrigerator magnets, and when I got a kind of a weird bend, I'll stick those refrigerator magnets on there to kind of remind myself while I'm folding this exactly what I need to do. So I've determined what I'm going to do is take the second mark, and I'm going to go ahead and fold it 90 degrees. I'm lining up my little turtle snapper marks right there, and latch it down, and we're going to go ahead and roll that up to 90 degrees. You can go nominal on all these dimensions because you can kind of adjust them a little bit here and there. And I think it's going to work out okay if I go ahead and invert it, again, turn it straight upside down and put it on that 1 3/4 mark. Right now we're actually creating the almost exactly a 1 inch for the 15/16 thick filter. So we can go ahead and take this up. Hope this ain't one of those times I'm making a mistake. Now see, you can't fold it 180, so you pull it up about like that. Now we're going to go ahead and fold the other one. This is not completed. We'll fold the other one of the filter rack itself. That'll be the other half of the filter slot. We'll go ahead and turn that up fairly close to 90 degrees. Then we can latch this down here. That'll give us our 180 degree fold. I can kind of force that in there a little bit. We should be able to put in this partial fold right inside the brake here. Hold in on it really good and latch that down into our 180 degree bend. Then we can complete the 90 degree bend on that just by kind of thumping it down. It doesn't take too awful much. You don't need to use a mallet. This is 24 gauge material. It's not extremely light duty material, but it's what we need to do to make it stable enough to hold the filter, you know, within the airflow. Now that portion's done. Now we just got to get the offset on it. So that offset has to go to the back side again. Here goes your turtle snappers, but this particular side is in line with the marks because we had described the back side. So we'll line this guy up right here, fold that up 90 degrees like this, flop it back down, invert it one more time from the opposite side, latch this down, and 90 degree out. That should give us our offset. So here's our offset. We'll be able to attach that to the door. This is the 1/2 inch. It's going to clear the louvers with the filter. We'll pop rivet or screw from the front of the door, through the front of the door, into this flange, and then the filter will slide right into here. Got to make a second one of these for the opposite side. I won't waste your time filming that. And then I'm going to have to make a plug across the bottom to hold the filter in place. And I'm sizing this for a standard 16 by 25 inch filter or 16 by 24 inch filter, either one. And that's going to get us 100% air filtration, a little bit of leakage here or there, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than what she had, which was essentially very, very poor. Now we fold up a little plug for the bottom. Very, very simple. Just got a bottom to catch the filter, to hold the filter from falling all the way through, and then a couple of long tabs to reach up the side to screw it or pop rivet in place, and they should be good to go. A couple of 90 degree bends just like that right there. Sometimes you bend them a little too far, you can open them back up like say. Then we'll just take this right here, we'll fold this right up like this. That gives me something to attach it on. The filter will drop right into there. We'll be good to go. So here we go. We have successfully bent the side angles and also a plug for the bottom. Hopefully I'm holding that in a position where you can see it in the camera. And with a little luck, when we put the measuring stick across it, we should have a nominal 16 inch in between the filter. That'll be from there to the outside of this bend here. So we got 16 1/4, and that's good because that means the filter is going to slide in there real good and easy. And then from the other end, we can go with a length of probably a 24, which is a standard filter. Here's your 24 inch right here. We have 23 7/8 inch inside. 24 inches is going to completely cover the entire opening, giving us unrestricted airflow to the furnace. Yeah, I guess I probably should have filmed, you know, putting it all together, but they ain't nothing to it. If you can use a 1/8 inch drill bit in any old battery drill or something, and use a pop riveter tool and some pop rivets, you can put stuff like that together. But actually, this really solved a big issue for her. Now, I don't understand, or I don't know why manufacturers on these mobile home equipment don't do something like this. You know, it'd be so easy to add something like this, you know, at the factory, on the factory level, instead of having so many people have such bad systems or just improperly installed systems. And I consider that improper. Doesn't matter if mechanically it's working, if it's going to plug up and give a problem in the future because you got no way to filter your air going across your a-coil, by dang, that's an improperly installed system as far as I'm concerned. But at any rate, this really did solve a problem. Where it's going to solve a problem. I'll reinstall this door tomorrow morning. It's no big deal. She ain't running the air conditioner now. She is running a little bit of heat, but one night without a filter ain't gonna hurt anything, you know, compared to the way she's been running it. But at any rate, this really kind of makes me happy, you know, to get her taken care of. And I do this for some people around town. Kind of disproportionate amount of ladies, because a lot of ladies don't have guys around the house, to do things for them and all that stuff. So hope this makes it makes me happy, so it makes her happier. So Josie, this one here is for you. If you ever get to watch this video, I don't know how happy it makes my wife doing this for all these women folks, but it don't matter what the heck, as long as it makes me happy, that's what matters, right? I guess I should clarify. There probably are some manufacturers out there that have filters. I don't do hardly any residential work at all anymore, at all. Well, I don't hardly do any kind of work at all anymore. But there probably are some manufacturers that have some kind of a filtering provision in their doors, but not being in the field anymore. I'm not aware of it. So I didn't mean to insult any manufacturers or any particular dealers or distributors out there if your product does have those provisions in your door. But at any rate, I thought I better come back and add that in. But man, I tell you, I've been on tons of these on service calls years and years and years ago, back when I did a smattering of residential out here in the country. There was a great percentage of them that were just horribly installed and with absolute no provisions. And it does create an issue. It does create a problem. And the sad thing about it is the average homeowners, most of them they're not even aware of what's wrong. And it's not my job to badmouth the people that install or anything like that. It's my job whenever I go out there, my job to leave it knowing that it's better off than what it was whenever I got there. The good thing about this, though, with the people I take care of around town, and I do take care of some old people, and of course, like I said, the disproportionate number of ladies, and but it makes them happy because it don't cost them nothing. So anyway, this is Trackman 44, man, and I am out of here.